8% seltzer shipped right to your house. We got the peach, we got the watermelon, we got the pina colada, and the blue raspberry. We are currently live in over 300 stores in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and the Outer Banks in North Carolina. And if you're heading out to the Major League ballparks this summer, make sure to check us out in the Miami Marlins Stadium, as well as Tropicana Field, home to the Tampa Bay Rays, as well as the Tampa Bay Rowdies. We are live inside all three stadiums. So if you're down in Florida this year, check us out. Go to hardafseltzer.com today and check your store locator or order them right to your house.
Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros Sports, Week 5 college football pick'em show. Can't believe we're in Week 5, but here we are. D'Anthony, as always, we're brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros. Doubling that deposit now for up to 110%. It used to be doubling the deposit up to 100%. Now it's up to 110%. So you put that in and boom, you're going to get that back up to 110% back. And I believe it's still capped at $1,000. So if you put in $1,000, you're getting $1,100 back now. Jesus Christ. Where was this when I started? You know? I'm pissed. I didn't get the good deals. I feel like inflation drove up everything. Biden drove up everything, and now we're getting all the fucking deals, but maybe we're not. Who knows? Either way, I don't need it this week. I've been on fucking fire, dude. Absolute fucking fire. Some might say this might be the best streak in sports podcasting history here, D'Anthony. Even last night's games I had. Bob, do you want me to text you those, or are we going to pull them up from Drink? I post them in Drinkin' Bros Sports.
I'll find them.
All right, just type in Ross Patterson there, and it'll go. There you go.
I got you.
Okay, so we've been D'Anthony and I have been chatting with MyBookie, and we've been going over bets and everything else, and we'll explain these to the audience since we talked about it yesterday in Monday Morning Recap. As far as the teasers go, and as far as the parlays go, and as far as betting straight upsy downsy and all aroundsies and all this other thing. So MyBookie does this thing, and this is in college football too, which is why we're showing this today, of these 10-point teasers occasionally. That's the fun thing. You pop in a few teams, and they'll give you 10 points. Sometimes they'll give you 13 points, but you just have to pick which way it's going. Last night was the Philadelphia Eagles against the Buccaneers, and then the Rams against the Bengals. Now, I took this one 3 different ways because they were offering a 10-point teaser on there, and I said, you know what would be fun is if I took Philadelphia and I flipped that minus 5.5 over to the other side for 4.5, just in case the love of Baker Mayfield was real and they ended up winning by a field goal or something. Obviously, it wasn't. Philadelphia pummeled them, won that one. Next was the Rams. Now, all of us on the show believed in the Rams. Rams ended up losing last night, but it didn't really matter. So I took the 10 points plus the 3 that was given, and I jacked it all the way up to 13. I also took that over-under, down from 44 down to 34 there. And it was a nice little victory of, what was it, $416.67. Now, that was the 10-point one. Go to the other one because they also offered a 13-point teaser last night.
69-point teaser.
I wish they would.
That would be the next one, right?
I hope so.
And it's going to be on whomever the Dolphins play next week.
Whoever they do.
Yeah.
But either way, if MyBookie is going to offer it, and again, I didn't know until I typed it in last night, I'm going to take this and exploit it.
Well, I didn't. I said on the show I was going to go Rams money line, but I took that teaser as well, luckily, so I didn't lose any money because they looked not great. I mean, it was just like you can tell they're missing Cooper Kupp badly.
Yeah.
But frankly, Cooper Kupp is in this game. They probably win by 10 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, Burrow looked all right. Jamar Chase finally came alive in this game last night.
Burrow's, I think, great for the Bengals for winning this game because this might be the start of a run for them because Burrow did look started out slow, but like you could see him getting back into game shape.
He turned it on in the second half. Yeah.
And I hope that continues because T. Higgins is languishing in my fucking starting lineup still.
In fantasy.
It's like he's fucking me over big time right now, but I'm going to persist because I think that they're going to have a good run. But he's not going to make it out alive if they don't do something about this offensive line.
I agree.
Holy shit, man.
But pop that up one more time, and we'll show the audience here. So the 13.1, when you pop in, sometimes it'll be at the bottom of the screen, and then you use it. Boom, I jacked the Eagles up to 7.5, won that. Jacked the over down from 44, to 31. And then I jacked the under up of the Bengals game to 58.5. They were nowhere near that. And then I jacked the Rams up to 16. That got dicey towards the end there. But Stafford was able to pull it out. And then obviously I took the Eagles at -5.5 for another $500. My bookie's not that stoked with me. It was a $1,400 win last night, along with the rest of the weekend. Jesus Christ, man. I've been on fire. But they're offering a ton of these things over there. So when you go to that site, the teasers and the parlays are the best. If you're watching a shitty game like the Buccaneers game, to me, and I said this on the show yesterday, I thought the Eagles would trounce them. I could have flipped that off in the second half and been like, good, I'm all done with the Knights. A teaser allows you to at least stay in it for the whole game, and you're like, all right, dude, what's the over-under going to be? I'll turn this shitty game into watching something.
I actually enjoyed this game.
Which one, the Buccaneers game?
Yeah, I mean, it's went down about how I thought it would. The Bucs do have a good defense. They just can't move the ball down the field. So that defense is going to get hit at some point, right?
Well, it's tough because Philadelphia is so good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they played at 70% last night.
No, I feel like they've been playing like 70% the entire season. But either way, all the bets that we make here today on MyBookie, they'll be the same odds as this. They will offer the same teasers and parlays and all that stuff as this. And the reason why a lot of people like the parlays and the teaser cards and all that stuff is you can win a shit ton of money. It's like a fucking lottery ticket. Last week, I hit a 7-game teaser. The week before, I hit another one too. And those paid at over $3,000 a piece. Those are all posted before the games in Drinkin' Bros Sports on Facebook. So sign up to it and you can see the actual betting slips. So that way you have the receipts. You know what I'm fucking betting on, what I'm winning on, and what I'm losing on. I just have not lost very much this season. Minus those 3 big games. I mean, shit, that LSU one still haunts my dreams, you know? But other than that, been really fucking good this year, and especially buying that half a point, which I told you on the show yesterday. Did in the Rams game as well. And it wasn't a push. Always just buy the half point if you have the option to be safe. Bob, if you can bring up the old power rankings there from Drinkin' Bros Sports, the users there from college. Let's see if they got their picks up for the week in there.
Someone logged me out of my email.
I gotta Christ, Bob!
I gotta airdrop it, baby.
All right, you airdrop it. Let me see if I can bring it up here. My thing here. Oh shit! I'm logged out of my shit too. Something happened? Something happened in the office, dude? We all get kicked off here?
It's the great reset.
Is it? Is it happening now? Are we a part of it? Is that what's going on? Wouldn't surprise me. It's coming soon, isn't it? The great reset is here. I think it's coming soon.
Yeah, and the great reset, by the way, is not you getting logged out of your email account.
I think it is.
No, that's not what it is.
I think that's accurate, right?
Yeah.
You think Klaus Schwab wrote a book about fucking email?
Just having
might have.
2-step verification for everything.
He might have. Yeah. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Here it is. College football top 10 rankings. All right. These are by all the admins in Drinkin' Bros Sports on Facebook. These are all voted on by you guys in there. And then they compile their lists together. And they say, hey, dude, here's who we think the top 10 teams in college football are. And we'll read these off here. All right. So the listeners have Georgia at 1. I have no argument with that still, even though they're not playing anybody. I heard the UAB game was relatively close to the first half. We had zero internet this weekend.
They're sleepwalking.
Yeah, they don't. So is Philadelphia. I mean, it's shit. They don't have to play anybody, so it doesn't really matter. Michigan up next. I got no problem.
This is
with
all
that.
chalk.
Is it?
1 through 5
Let me ask
matches
you,
AP.
Texas though? Do you
Yeah, but
still have
that's
Texas?
it. That's AP. Is this 1 through 5 is the same AP? Put that back up.
Yeah.
So 1 through 5 is the same. It's identical to AP, and then it changes 6 through 8. And then I think Oregon is 9 and Utah's 10 AP. Yeah, that's right. So 6 through 8 is the same teams, but in different orders. So they have USC, Washington, and Penn State on the Drinkin' Bros one. And on AP, it's Penn State, Washington, USC, which is the accurate version of that. So either Washington or USC plays Penn State, they're going to get butt fucked because they don't play defense. You know what
I think Washington should be number 3.
they might be. I don't think Washington could beat Penn State.
Right, but for right now,
Yeah.
because we don't know. And I said this about Ohio State, Notre Dame. When you had last week with Ohio State, Notre Dame, you had 2 teams who didn't play anybody the first 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah,
and I said this last week. Therefore, I'm just betting on the best talent at this point.
Well, there's 4 Pac-12 teams in the top 10.
Right.
Probably deservingly so. I mean, the only one I really have questions about so far is USC because their defense is bad.
Yes.
And then,
USC should not be in the top 10.
I agree. So I would take USC out of
They
there.
have
We'll
the
see.
best fucking player in the country.
Yeah, they do. They got the best
They
player in
do.
the country, and maybe if they get off schedule in a game because they can't play defense, they're going to be in trouble. So we'll see how it goes. And Utah, we don't know how good or bad they're really going to be because their fucking best player hasn't played a game yet.
That's, by the way, so out of this top 10, besides Washington, because I'd slot Washington at 3, I think. I'd bump Ohio State down to 6. I'd keep Florida State where they are. They've played 2 tough teams. Ohio State's only played 1 tough team. The other sneaky one to me, I think, is Utah for that exact same reason, man. They held UCLA to 7 fucking points, which never happens. They hold Florida to 8 points, I think, in that game. They seem to be the only ones that can play defense in the entire Pac-12.
Yeah.
I want to see Cam Rising back and see what this team could actually become.
Oregon would like to have a conversation.
Oregon has a really fucking good defense.
Oregon's defense is good. They haven't put up the same statistics so far that Utah has, but I don't think Florida's very good. And UCLA is.
But Florida beat Tennessee. Like, you got to give them that.
Yeah, but Tennessee doesn't play defense either. And
No.
it's not like they ran the score up on them, right?
Yeah, Tennessee has a meaty. They're okay. They're not bad defensively, just talent wise.
But it's just mid, their performance. But holding UCLA can score a little bit. Holding them to 7, that was a good game.
Yeah, and I think with Utah, I would be curious to see a Washington, a USC, or an Oregon go up against a really good defense.
Also, total defense. So we have UCLA at 9, Utah at 10, Oregon at 11. They play some defense.
But I think just the eye test, Delco, Oregon seems like their defense is probably a little bit better, just from what I can tell, because they played a higher caliber talent. Their defense looks better to me. You know what I mean? But we'll see. Time will tell.
You won't know until you actually get into one of these games who's got it versus a very good team.
10-28 is Oregon at Utah, which advantage Utah because that's a weird fucking place to play.
Weird place to play.
And if Cam Rising's back by then, also advantage them. I mean, if he can come back, I don't know that he's back this week and they're at Oregon State this week. This is a trap game. They could lose this game, right? We'll talk about that in a minute. But if they can make it through Oregon State and bring him back and let him tune up against Cal and get back in the rhythm and shit, that would be a huge benefit to them because they got USC and then Oregon at home right after that. They have Arizona State after that, and then they have at Washington after that. So it's a rough month. Right there.
It is, and the great thing about the Big Ten and the Pac-12 in particular is they'll definitely work it the fuck out because Big Ten, they're all playing each other. Pac-12, they're all playing each other. The only weird one this year is the SEC because Georgia doesn't play anybody the entire year, so you're not going to know until the SEC.
And I think LSU just has Alabama left, really.
That's it, right?
And vice versa.
Yeah.
Delco, who do you think is better defensively, Oregon or Utah?
Oregon.
Well, I mean, they look like they have better athletes to me.
Yeah, but they're just literally one total defense ranking away from Utah.
But you're taking me personally, I think you're taking the rankings too seriously. They played Portland State, they've played Texas Tech,
Colorado,
Hawaii. Colorado sucks, man. I told you last week they were going to get blown out by.
They definitely don't suck.
I told you they're going to be beat by 35 points.
They don't suck, and they're about to drop 35 on USC.
Who is?
Minimum.
Colorado? You guys you lived in that diaper last week. How did it work out?
Well, Oregon plays defense.
Yeah, Oregon.
USC does not play defense.
Oh, did we get one pick? I actually got that pick
Oh, shit, we got one pick wrong.
No. I did take a 40-point teaser. I had to suck this guy's dick and mortgage my home.
Yeah.
But I did get it right in a 40-point teaser.
That's good for you, man.
Yeah.
I won $12.
What the hell is a 40-point teaser?
What is a 40-point teaser? Yeah. The world you
shit.
fucking dummies live in. You hate money over there.
Well,
It's crazy.
we keep our track of our records. We're actually both, I believe, you're over 500 now. I'm hitting about 60%.
I went 12-5.
Post your bets in Drinkin' Bros Sports then. Do that for me.
We do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
he's- no,
post
he-
the slips.
I keep the records. There's tapes.
No, I fucking the tapes, but just post the slips. Like, everybody would love to see it every day. It'd be great. Join me, dude. I do it every single week. I do it for every single game.
Yeah.
Just post the slips in there.
Well, no, they keep track because they go head to head.
Yeah, we keep
on
track of
outside.
our entire record.
I don't-
Like every pick. We don't skip games. Every game we have, we pick.
But that's for outside. Do you guys do top 25 as well and track that? I think that's what he's saying because most of our people bet.
I would
top
never
25.
do it because I don't want people to listen to it and be like, "Hey, throw your money on this," and it's a bullshit game.
Well, what's yours? You're like in the 60s right now this year so far, Del
I'm at
Carne.
like 59.7% or some
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good you can get good deals on those fucking outside games.
They don't know the games as well.
I don't.
know
Absolutely
the-
not.
No, I mean, like Vegas doesn't know the games as well. So
Oh, Vegas doesn't
yeah.
know the games.
So
well.
if you
Gotcha.
do, you can fucking get some
I'm
really
saying
good
me
lines
neither.
on that.
I don't either. But I'm looking at Oregon's schedule: Portland State, Texas Tech, Hawaii. Anybody would have done that. I don't like Texas
Colorado
Tech.
has a good ass offense.
Yeah, they do.
So what do you think is going to happen next week? Let me ask you this:
I think this is going to be like a fucking another 17-10 game, to be honest.
for UCLA. Who are they playing next week?
Who's the they in that statement?
Colorado.
Colorado, I don't know. They're playing USC. Yeah, that's going to be like a
I already-
38-34 game, probably,
At
something like
least,
that.
I already bet the over 74. I already bet it.
Oh, yeah. USC is going to probably beat Colorado like 63 to 35 or something.
It's going to, like that, yeah, that's probably right. Colorado's going to score somewhere in the mid-30s, and they're going to lose by 20.
Yeah, Arizona State got shut out by Fresno State and then dropped fucking 28 on USC. Arizona State is fucking terrible.
Yeah, but Colorado's not going to win the game. I mean, I would be,
no.
I would be,
The spread is so high. in
I
this
would be
game.
shocked. I would be shocked if
It's a
Colorado
home.
won the game.
It's a home game. Sprinkle the money line. It is almost. It's 8.5 to 1 odds.
But they've already exceeded expectations. They make a bowl game this year. That's a huge success for
Well, they're going to make a bowl game because their schedule is.
I don't know.
They're going to lose like 4 or 5 games. They'll make a bowl game. You can lose 6 and make a bowl game.
I'm looking at this spread for USC next week. It's 21.5. I mean, I think USC beats them by 30.
Maybe, yeah. But I do think that they're going to score. I think fucking Colorado's going to score 30 points or more. USC's defense is really fucking bad.
Yeah.
Like, they don't play any defense. They gave up 28 points to San Jose State. And then another 28 to fucking Arizona State. What the fuck?
Yeah. I'm looking at last week's games here. What did we got right? What did we got wrong? Georgia UAB didn't touch that. I don't think there was a spread on it. 49-21. Surprise, UAB scored 21 points though. That one's wild. Rutgers, Michigan. Michigan's on cruise control until they get to Penn State.
I got
fine.
that one though. I bought half a point at 23.5 and won that one.
I didn't touch Rutgers.
To be
at all.
honest, I wasn't going to buy anything, and I was like, you know what? I'll probably buy half a point. I don't want to push on this, and I would have pushed too because it was 24 was the fucking spread on this game.
Next up, we got Texas versus Baylor.
Easy.
Yep. Baylor's fucking terrible. I said that at the beginning of the year. They've proved just to be as terrible. They're 1-3 this year. They ain't going nowhere, friends.
it's a bad
Florida
year.
State, Clemson, dude. All right.
That was a great game. We didn't get to watch because we were stuck in the.
That's when the internet kicked out,
in
bro.
the fucking dead zone.
God damn it, man. I not sure what happened. We went over it yesterday. What's that? I guess Dabo could have drove, maybe kicked a field goal or whatever. But either way, Florida State survives another one, and they live to see another day. They've played 2 good teams this year so far in LSU and Clemson.
You missed one of the best, like, soul-crushing sacks. So I think it was to tie the game, right? The scoop and score. Were you watching that game, Dan? On FSU Clemson? Yeah. So Florida State got a scoop and score to tie the game, and it was either a cornerback or a safety, I believe. But oh my God, they fucking murdered Klubnik.
Yeah. Looking at it here, man, what was the deciding factor here in this game? Is Florida State just not that good, or are they just a little bit better?
It's a road game at Clemson. It's a tough fucking atmosphere.
And it's not like Clemson is an untalented team. So 2 things. One, Clemson didn't have a kicker.
Yeah.
So they trotted out a guy who was literally working in New York City
Came
last
off
week.
the couch.
They didn't get a girl.
They
didn't.
should have. They
Yeah.
should have gone to the Clemson.
Clemson's female soccer team is pretty good.
Yeah,
they
should have
are.
gone to the women's
Because this dude, I believe, win the game, missed a 29-yard field goal.
Oof. That's not great.
Yeah, and then
For Clemson?
Yeah.
yes, for
Okay.
Clemson. And then when they had 12 seconds left, I don't really give a shit if he already missed. If he misses, they could have gotten close enough. It wouldn't have been a kick six, right? Then Dabo just says, "Fuck 12 seconds left. I don't care. I'm running it up the middle."
I don't know. I don't know if he had the leg for anything over like 40.
40.
It could have been a kick six.
Yeah, maybe. But he didn't even try. Didn't even try to win the game in regulation. Got exactly what he fucking deserved in overtime.
This is a good win for Florida State, I think. Going into Death Valley like that. And Clemson is a very talented team. They're just really poorly coached, I think.
When they've played, look.
Their play calling, and it was on full display this week. Their play calling is retarded.
Florida State is the only team that has played 2 really good teams this year, in my opinion, already.
And Clemson will be ranked by the end of the year, I'm sure.
They're 2-2 now.
I
Maybe.
think they'll probably.
Yeah, but they'll
sneak in there.
They'll cruise through a bunch of these middle teams and
Yeah.
end up with fucking 8 or 9 wins.
Yeah,
probably.
I'd say a 4-loss Clemson team you could probably find in the back half of the top.
Yeah.
Just off name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Texas always does.
So that'll be a ranked win, is the point of that, technically.
Yeah. USC beat Arizona State there, 42-28. I don't know how much these guys fucking care. They'll have to care next week.
How much did they care? They had to care. They were forced to care because their defense sucks so bad.
It's Arizona State, though.
know, but
I wonder.
exactly.
the game was
I
kind
wonder.
of close in the first half.
It was completely close in the first half. It was 21-13 at the end of the first half, and they only separate. They lost. They were only up by 11 going into the fourth.
I think with these guys, we'll wait till it's something fun for them. Next week should be fun enough for them to actually try. Their schedule this year has been fucking dog shit. San Jose State, Nevada, Stanford, and Arizona State. Nothing to get your dick hard for. Next week will be a test. We'll see, because at least the crowd will be loud and it'll be fun. When you play at USC, even your own fans aren't getting into that shit. So it's like, man, it's tough. This will be the first college football game with an atmosphere that they'll be in. Weird to say about Colorado, but those tickets are going for $300 in the nosebleeds there. Next up, Ohio State's Notre Dame. Great game. Set the fucking record for viewers for 30 years and all that other shit. It's fun.
I don't know if I would say a great game.
It
was a close game.
Yeah.
Down to the end.
We'll
but
see who these defenses are later on in the year.
This game was very poorly executed by both temes.
Yeah,
these are 2 very poorly coached teams, I think.
These did not look like national championship teams in person.
But nobody has, really.
No. So anybody can win this goddamn thing this year. Next up, Penn State just absolutely destroyed Iowa. 0 points for Iowa, which I think we gave them 7.
I think Bob actually said they probably won't score any points.
I said 7 last week.
You're missing what really matters. I don't care that they scored 0 points. They gained a total of 76 yards.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, their offense is terrible. Penn State's got the best defense in the Big Ten. I understand it. I had them at 7 last week. They scored 0. Good for you guys.
They had 56 passing yards for the game.
Yeah, they're not great.
There's
a reason why their offensive coordinator has a points program.
But they did have 20 yards rushing. So
20 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Crazy. These guys are in trouble this year. Cal,
they were ranked at the time too. They were 24th then. They're not going to be ranked again, I don't think.
Cal at Washington was up next, 59-32 in this game.
Sloppy
Jesus
by
Christ.
Washington to give up that many points to Cal. Cal's not good.
91 points total in this game.
They scored 20 on the back half. Also, Washington's defense was definitely taking a break because their first 14 points were defensive touchdowns.
Yeah, look, I think all these teams are taking a break. I think it's natural when you're playing shitty teams to ease up off the gas. That's why I'm not hard on Michigan.
USC wasn't taking a break. They were in a fight from the start.
Washington was up 45-12 at half, so yeah, they didn't give a shit.
Yeah, they didn't. That's what
I don't
I'm
know.
saying, though.
Teams,
I don't think
teams used
care.
to care, though. Teams used to care.
They used to.
It used to be
anymore.
like the defensive captain of the DC would be like, we're not giving up any points to these cocksuckers.
Wait till you get to that 12 playoff next year, too. They're going to care even less, man. If the top 12 teams make it, is he even looking at this? Would you be amped about the top 12 teams right now?
Yeah, this is a fun-ass group.
Yeah, because this is the most parity we've seen in college football in like fucking 40 years.
This year, maybe. But,
This
but in
year,
like last year?
Last year, no, it would suck. I mean, it's just like who is the only question last year would have been like, is Georgia going to make a big enough mistake to lose any of these games? Probably not.
We're the same question this year,
Right,
for
because
those
they're
guys.
so well coached. I don't know. I don't think they're as good this year, but we'll see.
Utah, UCLA, talked about that. There was 14-7 there.
Utah's showing that it can win without an offense, which should be.
Dude.
That's like you're
I
putting
know.
people on. Like a 14-7 win doesn't look glamorous or anything, but they had no offense in this game to speak of, and they still fucking beat a ranked team. They're putting people
Traditionally scores a lot of points.
Yeah, they're putting people on notice right now. I mean,
dude.
honestly, I think Utah's pretty good. I don't know if who's better defensively between them and Oregon, but it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
That and Washington. I'd like to see this defense go against them, but they're going to need a quarterback back. You can't keep riding with this fucking dude.
Yeah, because Penix is going to like Utah will fuck him up. He might have a couple of picks.
Yeah.
But he's going to throw 2 or 3 touchdowns
If
too. You gotta
Rison's
score.
not back, you're fucked.
Yeah.
LSU, Arkansas. Shit, dude, 34-31 in this game. That was a big boy spread of like 17.5 in this one. Didn't touch that, but
Arkansas always gives them trouble for some reason.
Okay.
But they LSU's defense is bad. Their pass defense in particular they are getting lit up.
Well, they got torched by FSU in that game too. That could have been worse than that final score as well. Ole Miss versus Alabama in this one. Bama turned it on in the second half. 24-10 in that one. It was the only push in this week.
I still don't. Milroe, I just can't with him.
They let him go over the top in the second half, and they started to score a little bit.
Yeah. Lane Kiffin, will he ever beat Saban? Probably not. Probably not. He's just not that dude. Next up, Washington State versus Oregon State. It's the Pac-12. There's the only 2 teams left. And this is why I wanted to see this game every single week from both of them.
Yeah.
Just go back and forth. It was 38-35.
They're 2 of the original Pac teams as well.
38-35. Imagine if they played every single week and it was 38-35 just like this game. It would be great to watch. Next up, Oklahoma versus Cincinnati. 20-6 in that one.
That's weird to me. Cincinnati has had good defenses for a couple of 5 years now.
It's decent this year.
Yeah, their defense is pretty decent, but
Cincinnati's also a weirdly tough place to play.
is it?
Yeah.
Maybe that explains. I mean, Oklahoma typically scores pretty well.
Their offense is sus this year. They have had middling results against the 2 decent teams they've played on offense. However, just throw out whatever you think Oklahoma is, you got to throw that out because this is a Brent Venables team now, and I don't think they're going to score very much.
It's also a Dylan Gabriel offense.
Yeah, this is a Central Florida guy. What's his deal?
He loves to light up bad teams, and he does not play well against the better competition.
Oh, sweet. Well, that's good.
So this I don't know. I don't remember who they play this week, but the Red River game is going to be pretty fucking interesting because the Oklahoma's defense, it might be the best in the country.
They got Iowa State this week. That Red River game is going to be a big deal this year as long as both teams can win this Saturday.
Iowa State is such a joke.
That's what I'm saying. So as long as you can get through this week, you're fine, and then that game will mean something later on down the road here. 2 weeks, actually. Duke, UConn, great. Who cares?
You skipped one.
North Carolina versus Pittsburgh.
Also, who cares?
Yeah, also a big who cares in that one. Miami versus Temple. Look, Miami keeps putting up points, and they're winning, dude. They're 41-7 over Temple. They are the mighty. What are they? Are they
Owls.
Friars?
It's the Owls.
Owls. There
They're
we
the
go.
Fighting Cosbys.
I was gonna say I got rid of them out of my brain after Phil Cosby,
Dude,
After Bill Cosby,
honestly though,
and his
like,
brother Phil.
I would not write off that North Carolina game just to go back to that for a second. They've played one of the better schedules so far in the year. They beat South Carolina handily, beat
App
a
State.
scrappy App State team, handled Minnesota like we're totally competent against Minnesota. They
And
never had a
Pittsburgh's
chance.
Meh.
And then they were a little iffy.
Probably
on-
make a bowl game.
Pittsburgh went up 14-7, and then they outscored them 34-10 or something like that. North Carolina is looking
And they got dudes like
Yeah.
Mac Brown recruits.
Well, look with Drake May, anything is possible. So you're gonna have when you have a great quarterback, chances are the team's gonna be pretty decent. I don't hate Mac Brown as much as Texas fans do. I'm with you on them. I think he's a decent coach. But in 2 weeks they play Miami. That will probably tell you who that team
They're
is.
having-
They have a bye this week. They play Syracuse next week and then Miami. So these next 2 games, Syracuse and Miami, are huge.
In that Syracuse game, that's tough.
It's 2 Saturdays from now. So yeah,
North Carolina's having a problem getting the ball in the end zone. They're inefficient on third down for the season, and they're inefficient in the red zone. They got to fix that. But they're, still not being able to convert in the red zone, and they're still putting up 41. They didn't score in the fourth quarter. That's pretty good, right?
They
so
haven't
they're
gone a game
like
without scoring
there's a
30.
lot of talent there. So they got to figure out They got to square away this third down bullshit, and they got to punch the ball in the end zone a little more. But they definitely got talent.
And they have competently handled 3 out of the 4 teams they played. In Appalachian State, that's a feisty team, little brother, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't really care about that. Like, this team is a good playoff dark horse, to be quite honest.
Could be, yeah. I just think Pitt sucks. That's why I glossed over it.
Same
For
here.
sure. Pitt does. Pitt sucks ass.
Same here. Next up, we got Duke UConn, 41-7 there, 41-7 Miami. In that game, big deal. Tennessee was playing UTSA.
That's a good win.
Yeah.
Tennessee looked good. UTSA is a little sneaky. I don't think they're as good this year as they have been, but that's a sneaky team.
Florida's in the top 25, and they played Charlotte, and that was 22-7.
Like one of the greatest catches I've ever seen a football player make.
Oh, easily in that game.
What's the guy's name? Pierce Pearsall. How do you say his name?
Pierce Brosnan.
No, his name's Ricky something. Ricky Pearsall or Pearsall.
No
Pearsall,
idea.
maybe?
It was a great catch. It was a very good catch. It was,
either way, it was a great
compared
catch,
to that
yeah.
OBJ catch.
And there was
it
a great. Was it Notre Dame's tight end that made a one-handed catch?
Yep.
While we were there,
Yeah.
man, that dude can fucking. That Notre Dame's tight end is going to be.
They always have good tight ends there.
a very highly sought after prospect. I
Mm-hmm.
think he's only a fucking sophomore.
Well, homeboy went in the first round last year for Notre Dame. Them in Iowa, for whatever reason, always have great tight ends. Ohio State's got a good one, too. That kid had eight catches for 89 yards. He broke his back in that Georgia game, so he was forced to come back, or else he would have gone pro, too. As always, we're brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros. Going to double you up, dude, to 110% of that deposit. It's a lot of fucking money they're giving this year. It's a record for their company over the years. So if you put 100 in, boom, you're getting 210 back, and vice versa. All the way up to 1,000, you get 1,100 back if you put in 1,000 there. Tons of great games to bet on. Tons of parlays that are fun, tons of teasers. Although you guys hate them, it's just free money, man. Take the fucking money. All you got to do is just hike it up one way or the other. It's like The Price is Right. Won $1,400 last night in the old Drinkin' Bros Sports. Head on over there. You can also bet on all of your favorite players as well. Prop bets on most of these. NFL games, it's usually over 250 prop bets. You can take alt lines on the spreads. You can go 1-7. You can go like Vegas, like it's fucking roulette, like the fucking 1st to 3rd if you want, dude. It's great. That's that website more than anybody else. I've never seen somebody offer this much shit. And the fun little Easter eggs of these weird fucking teasers and all of this shit makes it worth it. And you hang in there until the final second of the game. Because let's face it, if you're married, kids go down, you're up late at nights. Are you really watching the fucking Bengals versus Rams all the way through? Probably not, unless you got something on it in the background. Go to MyBookie.com. Turn your love of sports into your new side hustle. Promo code Drinkin' Bros. Double that first deposit up to 110%. Let's go. Next up, if you want to go to any of these games whatsoever, go to drinkinbrostickets.com. Most expensive ticket, though, on the schedule is Colorado. Man, they're still believing up there, and good for them. Last row of the stadium is going for $247 on drinkinbrostickets.com. Wild. But it is USC, and you are seeing the Heisman Trophy winner in that game. And if you're on campus, this is going to be live on Fox. They kicked this down to the noon game, by the way, which is rare. Is that fucking... Are they Mountain? Is that 10 a.m. for those guys?
It's a 10 a.m. kickoff.
Jesus Christ, man. I mean, I guess. Look, you're trying to get your program out there, but how do you get kids up that early at 10 a.m.?
So technically, I was reading about this today because I was complaining about the Missouri kickoff for LSU next week. The 11 a.m. slot, the noon Eastern slot, is actually the best or second best time slot for eyeballs for a team. Whatever the lead-in is after the morning show.
It is on. So Fox is the big noon show, and then they started putting all the good games at noon. The problem is it fucks over every fan base. That's why we all hate Fox. They do it to a ton of Ohio State games. Not anymore because I don't think they're with Fox, but they're going to fuck over your team. I promise you, man. If your team is good, they're going to put you in that noon time slot, and it fucking sucks, dude. I hate it. The fact that kids got to play at 10 a.m. is nuts to me. So Dan and I, to this point, we went to Alabama, Texas last year. They slotted that. It was 11 for us. And Dan and I get amazing access to all this shit. We're very lucky to do it. But like you and I were with the players' bus and watching those kids walk off the bus. They were wiping sleepies out of their eye in the morning, going down to the stadium, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude!" And I was like, "Oh, that's right." When you have to get up at 6 a.m. essentially to get coffee, get treatment and all that other shit, and get ready for an 11 a.m. game. Now kick that back an hour to 10 a.m.
Especially if you're in Austin, right? Because you've got itis from eating barbecue.
Well, you got the itis, and then last year when we went for that 11 a.m. game, it was 108 degrees at kickoff. So, like, dude, that's nuts. Colorado fans, dude, 10 a.m., that's fucking brutal. Do better, Fox. Jesus Christ. But this week we got a Friday night game, which I love, dude. I love, and it's a fun game on a Friday night.
It's a scary game for Utah, for sure. This could derail their season. I mean, what should happen is that Oregon State should get relegated to outside the top 25 where they belong.
Because of DJ Ukulele?
But I don't know that – yeah, he's terrible. He is fucking terrible. But it's a weird place. It's a weird place.
It is, and it's Friday – well – Friday afternoon for those guys.
I still don't know if Cam Rising's playing. They don't even have a fucking injury report listed right now, so I can't bet on this until I know.
And here's the weird thing on this. If you're looking at the current spread right now on MyBookie.com, it is Oregon State minus 3.5. I can promise you, the only reason that is minus 3.5 for Oregon State, it's not because they're the fucking home team and because they're better. They just don't know if Cam Rising's going to play, and if he does play, this spread will jump the other way, probably 6 points, I would imagine.
Yeah, but that you might want to sprinkle the fucking dog on that one if it does, because there's no guarantee he's going to be in game shape either.
No, and so
because he's not been. It's not like he's sitting out. He's out with an injury.
Yeah, I don't think it changes the line at all.
It might go a point or two. I don't know if
he starts.
Yeah, he hasn't played all year. He's coming off an ACL injury.
I don't think they'll be favored.
It should, dude, in my opinion. I think that kid makes a world of difference. Same with Burrow last night. That's what freaked me the fuck out. As soon as he stepped on the field, I was like, oh, shit. What if he erupts? And he did. With Cam, man, we are in week 5 now. I'm starting to question if he'll come back or just sit this entire year out and then go for the following year. There's so many great quarterback recruits. We talked about this on yesterday's show. That it would almost make sense at this point. You're 5 weeks into the year. If you're not in this game, why risk it at all and just come back where you can get a higher draft next year?
Yeah, he certainly is in danger of becoming Will Levis of the 24 draft if he stays. Right?
If he stays, yeah.
Because there's certainly Penix is coming out, right? He'll go.
Yep. Penix coming out, Caleb Williams is coming out,
Drake May's coming out,
and so is Sam Hartman. It's a rough one.
You're probably a second rounder at that point. I don't know what the talent pool looks like next year, but
I think he actually still has another year of eligibility.
I think he does too. Yeah.
I mean, next year is going to be Shedeur Sanders, and then some and some others.
Fine.
Yeah, but it's like I would rather go up against
same here
a couple of those guys we'll see if somebody establishes themselves this year, but have they? I haven't seen anybody.
No.
That's come out of the woodwork.
You almost wait on this one, but if you're gambling on this, for sure, wait to see who the starting quarterback is in this game. But that 3.5 makes sense, and I know why they're doing it. Next up, another game at noon is Penn State at Northwestern. Why I say that is this is Chicago. This is Central, so this is a true 11 a.m. game for Penn State. Mm-hmm. It's just waking up at that point, showing up at the field. Luckily, it's Northwestern. They fucking suck. So this is Penn State minus 27 in this one. Do you touch 11 a.m. game, though?
I don't. Even if this was prime time, I wouldn't touch this because Northwestern is one of the teams that gives Penn State trouble.
Traditionally?
Yeah, I think they beat them a couple years ago, like 2016 by 24, and that's the highest. I mean, last year it was like they beat them by, I think it was 17-7 or some shit like that. So now Penn State's obviously better this year than they were last year, but no, 27 points is way too much.
I mean, Northwestern's got their interim coach because of that hazing shit and stuff like that. I'll tell you what, man. One interesting sideline to look at there would be the Northwestern team total, and just maybe take the. I don't know. If
it could be 0. Yeah, I don't know
if they score.
Could be. I don't either. But I also don't touch this. That's a rough one. I'm going to walk back that USC comment from earlier. I was unaware that this was a 10 a.m. game. My God. So, all right.
Well,
so
it's not though. It's a noon game.
No, well, it's noon Eastern, but for the kids on the field, this will be 10 a.m. their time when this kicks off.
How you figure that?
It's in Colorado.
Yeah, but Colorado's west.
No, it's
Or it's not west. It's mountain
Yeah,
time.
so they're 2 hours behind. So it'll be at 10 a.m.
No.
Right?
yes.
This game starts at noon Mountain Time.
No,
so it'll be. I'm looking at it right goddamn now. It's 11 a.m. Central, so it'll be noon, or I'm sorry, 10 a.m. Mountain, right?
Pop it up
so
on
it's
the
so
screen.
it's 9 a.m. for USC guys.
9 a.m. for USC guys.
local
And
time.
then
Local time will be 10 a.m.
That's-
for Colorado.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. And this is what I can't figure out. And now I'm going to walk this back because now that's a 9 a.m. game, like you said, for USC.
Yeah.
It's a 10 a.m. game for the kids from Colorado. Why
Isn't this usually we expect Hawaii to be the late night game, and we
Right.
expect the regular night
to
game
be an East Coast
a
game.
Pac-12 game.
For a noon game, this is usually an East Coast team.
So
Yeah,
usually Ohio
but,
State.
But we expect this game to be at fucking like 8:30.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some shit.
I'm
Why?
gonna explain it to you. And I'm gonna role play. Okay.
Go ahead.
My name is Mr. TV.
Yep.
Okay. And you guys are Colorado and USC.
Yep.
Suck my dick. Get on the field.
Yep. If you're a fan, right?
Or a player. I want you on TV. I want you on me when I say.
If you're Fox, yes.
Suck my dick.
And so Fox doesn't care. They're going for ratings and all that other shit. So their whole gig with the Fox Noon show is to try to take down the ESPN Game Day show. That's what it was from the start. But here's the other thing. Fox is still on free TV, so they get higher rankings than ESPN. So you got to go to a streamer or whatever.
But these
the fuck
night
cable
games
is.
suck.
I agree, dude. I agree.
I mean, there's LSU Ole Miss at 5 is okay, I guess. Notre Dame Duke. I don't know that I believe in Duke that much. That's a 6:30 game, so maybe, right? But
I'm with you. This
the
should
8:30
have been
game,
the primetime
or
game.
the 9 o'clock Pac-12 game is Washington at Arizona.
Why? This is the night game. If you want the eyeballs, well, I know Fox wants the eyeballs too, and that noon game gets second. But like, put this on primetime if you
Well,
want.
to be fair, Penix probably will throw for 5 touchdowns against Arizona. So
Yeah.
that's going to be an exciting game to watch, but it's not nearly as good of a game.
For him, I guess.
USC Colorado, they're going to score fucking 80 points in this game.
They want.
This early in the morning? I
Yes.
don't know.
The
For
over
college
under is
kids?
73.5, dude.
They're gonna smash the over.
USC just gave up, what did they give up? 28?
28
To Arizona State, one of the
was-
worst fucking offenses of all
That Texas
time.
Alabama morning game last year was like fucking 7-3 the entire game.
Yeah,
I
but
think
Quinn
the
Ewers got hurt on like the second series
He
too.
did, but I think the final was like 13-10.
And Alabama
I mean, it
looked like
low.
shit. Alabama looked like
Very
shit in the
low.
game.
You're also
Well,
talking
everybody did it
about-
because they were sleepy. Like they
No.
were tired.
You're talking about two entirely different teams with two competent defenses. Neither of these teams have defenses at all.
I know, but it's not the defense I'm worried about. It's where the offenses be awake enough, like where kids awake at this early to
They'll be
play at
fine.
10 a.m. I don't know.
Time will tell.
I will, but 21.5 now that it's 10 a.m.
I'm a little more worried for USC than Colorado. Colorado, this is an hour early or so, right? Maybe 2.
Yeah, 1 hour.
That's something, but USC, this is a 9 a.m. game for USC.
Gross, dude. No.
That's weird.
Look, and that was the deal we cut with MyBookie. Like, I'm not going to pick everything just to do it, man. That's fucked up, dude. Fuck Fox for doing this. Fuck it in the fan base. Fuck them. Like, if you're a kid going to school for this shit, you don't want to get up this goddamn early. Next up, we got Florida versus Kentucky here. Noon game there in old Kentucky. Is Kentucky minus 2.5. Florida's ranked. Kentucky's 4-0 this year. I don't really know how, but good for them. But they're not ranked. Who do they play the first 4 games of the year? Ball
State, East Kentucky, Akron, and Vanderbilt.
Okay.
So no one.
So no one. No one. Who do you got in this one?
I mean, Florida didn't look great last week against Charlotte, but they look really good against Tennessee.
No.
It's like hot and cold with these guys. I'm tempted to take the Florida money line here, to be honest. I mean, but Kentucky plays good D. They manage the clock really well. I don't know, to be honest.
They haven't
really
played
don't
anybody.
know. Like fucking Florida's got the talent to win.
Yeah.
But I don't. Maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe they're starting to figure it out. I don't know. They're 3-1, but I don't know. I'll take the Florida money line. I think they'll beat Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Florida as well here. I'm going to take the points on this one.
I hope I'm not just doing that because I think Kentucky's got a pretty good run game and defense, but I think Florida's kind of starting to piece it together.
I'm just going off that Tennessee game. That's what I'm going off of. And for these morning games, I got to bet on something. I mean, Daddy needs something on this.
Yeah.
So this will be the game I put it on. The 2:30 game I love here for us. It's 2:30 Central, 3:30 out there for these guys. Georgia at Auburn. And this is Georgia minus 14.5. Who you got?
Yeah, I'll give Georgia 14.5. That's fine.
So you got Georgia in this one?
Yeah, Auburn's terrible, man. Okay. They just got whipped by fucking A&M last week. I mean, Auburn does play well at home, and maybe Georgia fucking phones it in on this one. Who knows, man? I don't know.
I'm going to take Auburn with the points in this one.
I can't do that.
I am going to take Auburn with the points. And I'm going to say, I said this before the season started. Hugh Freeze is going to fuck up somebody's year. Someone. I'm not saying it's this game, but the points are high enough that I'm going to put a lot of money on Auburn in this game. I'm going to take Auburn minus 14.5. I'm going to take the points on Auburn.
You enjoy that.
I will. There's not a lot of games to enjoy this weekend. This is one that I will enjoy, though, for sure. They're actually playing a team with a name that I've heard of, and that's in America. And so I'm gonna do it. I'm going to take the 14.5 here with Auburn. Next up, we got Michigan versus Nebraska, and this is at Nebraska. This is Michigan minus 17 here. That's exactly where that spread should be. Who you got?
I don't care if this game was being played on the moon. Nebraska sucks. Terrible.
I agree.
They're just not very good at being alive.
Yeah, and for Michigan, look, Harbaugh's back. They're finally playing a team with a name here that could potentially compete. Nebraska's it's a sellout every single game over there. We get so many DMs about coming to Nebraska every single year. Just get a good team. I'd love to go. I heard it's fun. I haven't been to Nebraska yet. It's definitely not a bucket list item or anything, but
yeah.
But I'll go. Just get a good team there.
Nebraska's in 4 games, their turnover ratio is -5.
Yeah.
So they've given up 5 more balls than they've taken away, and Michigan's probably going to have 3 takeaways in this game. So 3 scores. Yeah, I'm down with that. 17.
Yeah, I'm taking that. If anything, just by half a point and get it to 16.5, just in case they do win by 17. Next up, we got Kansas 24 at Texas.
I don't know this one. What's up with Kansas?
Kansas just popped into the top 25 here this week.
They're good.
Great offense. Defense is a little sus still for sure, but they're going to put up points.
Jalen Daniels is going to fucking sling it.
Yeah.
They're definitely scoring points.
It's a lot of points, guys. It's minus 16.5 for Texas.
They're averaging like 35 a game right now.
And the fucking thorn in Texas's side the last couple of years has been Kansas.
It's a good point.
It has, man. I'm taking Kansas with the points in this one. What about you?
16.5. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll probably take that. I'll take Kansas with
I got
points.
some dogs this week, dude. I'm taking dogs this week. It's a shitty schedule. I'm taking the points in a lot of games this week.
Texas has a good defense.
We're going to find out.
We'll find out. This is the first.
I mean, 'cause they played. They gave up 24 to an Alabama that hadn't really figured shit out, but everyone else they played doesn't have an offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to find out a lot about Texas' defense this week.
We are. Tickets, by the way, are $42 at this one. If you're in Austin, want to go to this one, should be a good one. How's the weather? 87?
It's not bad for Texas.
For Texas, yeah.
That's to Kansas people, that might suck, but for guys in Austin, they're gonna be like, "Oh man, this is nice."
We should put a different map up for Texas. We'll be like, "Well, for Texas, it's fine." 87 here. Shit, break out the shawl. Break out your Grammy shawl and wrap that around you. I'm taking Kansas plus the points, plus 16.5. Next up, Bob's team made the top 25. He will not be talking about them on outside the top 25 this week because they're in it. And they're playing Vanderbilt. Boy, this
is a fucking heavyweight matchup right here.
Sure is. This is Mizzou minus 13. Bob, tickets are $8 for this game. That is not on Missouri, though. That is
it's in Nashville.
Yeah. They don't have a fan. You might as well be playing at USC here. Since this is your team, do they cover the 13? We'll put this all on you this week.
The line has moved up, so money's going on Mizzou. It's to open at 12.5, I believe.
Okay, and then now it's up to 13 on MyBookie. What do we got, Bob?
I mean, look, they should cover. The offense and defense have both been great so far. Vandy, I think, is like 120th ranked pass defense. Brady Cook has been, I guess he was hurt all last year is what they're saying.
0 interceptions.
Zero interceptions. He's been slinging the ball. And with all due respect to Ohio State's wide receivers, Luther Burden might be the best wide receiver in the country so far this year. He was the number one in his class 2 years ago.
He's good. He's a sophomore. He's a 5-star.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's the best in the country.
Over Marvin Harrison Jr.?
He's putting up bananas numbers. I'm just saying that. But he's probably a top 10 wide receiver in the country.
He's fourth in the country in receiving yards right now behind Xavier Leggett from South Carolina. That's weird. And then Rome Odunze from Washington. That's not weird because
Penix is throwing.
He's averaging 20 yards a reception.
Yeah.
So if that tells you anything. And then Malik Neighbors from LSU is having a pretty good season.
Marvin Harrison's probably way down that list because Kyle McCord sucks. He had 32 yards in that Notre Dame game.
Maybe he should start throwing to himself.
It's weird. If I were, I wonder if you could just do that.
He's the best athlete on the field. They should just give him the ball.
What a freak of nature that guy is in real life. Jesus Christ. All right, Bob, I'll ride with you. I'll take 2 touchdowns here.
Well,
with
my
Missouri.
understanding is that Vanderbilt's chess club gets more attendees than their football team. Is that right?
Almost certainly.
Boy,
it's like 18 for the chess club.
There is a certain someone who may or may not have taken a meeting with Vanderbilt last week for Hard AF Seltzer. And that we were talking about this very thing.
Did you let them know that I'm not going to stop shit-talking their organization?
Sure did.
Look, just get it in their baseball stadium. You're good to go.
That was exactly where the conversation went. They go, hey, no, just forget about the football thing. Just remember our baseball team is really, really good. And I was like, no, I know. That one I know. But yeah, look, you guys actually went to this stadium last year. How was the stadium in real life in Nashville? Was it fun, Delco? It was you and last row.
It was a couple of years ago. It was against Georgia. There's more Georgia fans than Vandy.
But what the stadium as a whole, was it fun? Could kids party? If they actually got a good team there, was it fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, I'll ride with Bob on this one. I'll go Mizzou. And if he loses, we'll never hear the end of it. You know, we'll get that. I'll post.
Well, look, if they don't cover, I don't really care. Like, I just want them to win this game because then next week is huge. But
who is next week for you guys?
LSU at home.
Ooh, that is going to be a tough one. Speaking of which, that's our next game. LSU at Ole Miss. LSU's got their own problems this week. This is LSU -2.5 against Ole Miss. D'Anthony, who you got?
I'll take LSU in this. Yep.
I am going to as well.
Honestly, Ole Miss against I don't think Alabama is that good.
Me neither.
And they look like shit against Alabama. I had some hopes for Ole Miss. I mean, they're just going to be an up and down team, obviously, but I had some hopes for them after their first couple of games, but it all dissipated pretty quickly.
I'm not sure. Look, it's one of those places where I just don't know if they'll ever get the recruits there. It's a fun fucking school to party with, and like nothing would make me happier.
Well, they got to bring back whores.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, what's the point of having all those hot girls at your university if you're not using them to lure in dudes to play football to make your organization money?
So here's the problem: when you're a recruit going to Ole Miss like this, there's no fucking airports, there's no nothing there, and this college is just out in the middle of nowhere, and you're like, oh man, this is great, and there's so many hot girls right here. But then what do I do? And I don't know the answer there. But I wish they would get good because I would love to go back there and party. It has been fucking years. But I've got LSU as well in this game -2.5.
I think there's a decent chance this over hits.
67?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, LSU's defense is beat, man.
Yep. Yeah. and Jackson, because Alabama had a way better defense than LSU. So, yes, there is a decent shot that hits. Me personally, though, I'm just going to ride with LSU -2.5. Next up, we got Oregon, number 9 at Stanford. This is Oregon -27. D'Anthony, who you got?
You know what? I'm going to give Oregon 27.
There you go.
Stanford scored 10 points against USC, and USC does not play defense. Mm-hmm. They choose to not play defense. Not in the same way that Notre Dame puts 10 guys on the field for the last 2 most important plays of the game, but they They recruit athletes at USC, and they still have a shit defense.
It's Alex Grinch, and like every week his name pops up on Twitter. I don't know why Lincoln Riley loves this guy and keeps fucking hiring him everywhere, but hire a bit better DC. I don't get it. I'm with you. I think Oregon wins this. This is a little cock tease here to get you in because they're like, oh, hey, this is a 4-score game, guys. It's minus 27 in Vegas. Let's do it.
If it wasn't Stanford,
Stanford,
it was one of the Arizona teams or UCLA or something like that. I would be worried about a backdoor cover, but Stanford fucking sucks, man.
Sucks. Absolutely sucks. So I'm with you.
But I'm probably going to get backdoor cover because I was talking shit. So.
Yeah, in the end.
Cocksuckers.
Next up, we get Iowa State at Oklahoma. This is Oklahoma minus 20 in this game here. Who you got, D'Anthony?
I'm not touching that.
Yeah, Oklahoma didn't look great last week. Are they looking ahead to the Texas game? Maybe.
I mean, Iowa State is bad. They're real bad.
I know. I'm going to take Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma covers this.
I just don't want to have to check in on this game.
No, I get it.
Oklahoma might cover it, but also a 48.5 over-under with a 20-point spread. I think. Does that mean they think Iowa State might score double-digit, just barely double-digit?
Yes. So they think Iowa State will probably score 10 points, 10, 13 points.
What's the over-under?
48.5.
And the spread?
20.
That is a 35-14 game.
Yeah.
Under on Iowa State team. Iowa State team under. They are not getting 2 fucking touchdowns against Oklahoma. No fucking way.
I don't think so either.
They might not get 2 more touchdowns for the rest of the year.
Or the rest of their lives.
Like they just run the ball and then try to throw outs to tight ends, right? They don't do anything else?
Yeah, I don't know. Weird. Next up, we got Notre Dame, number 11, at Duke. This is the night game right here. So this is the one they chose to be the night game on ABC. This is Notre Dame minus 5.5. Who you got, D'Anthony?
Man, I don't know.
It was such a soul-crushing defeat for Notre Dame last week.
I think I might go Duke money line on this just to have a little fun.
A little funsies with it. I like it.
That's the only thing that's going to make me give a shit about this game because I'm not gonna try to do math in my head and figure out spreads and shit. So I'm just going to take Duke money line.
So here's what I was shocked to about last week, and this is why this game is tough for me to pick. Hartman's got 1,236 yards this year and 14 touchdowns. He did not throw the ball against Ohio State. Was that the game plan? I'm not really sure, but they ran the ball up the fucking middle every single play, and it seemed like they were just chewing up the clock, which is a strategy against a team with a high-powered offense. But with Duke, you could just have him chuck all day. So do they go back to that, like what they were doing the first 3 weeks of the year? Just have him chuck the whole game?
Maybe. I mean, take it for what it's worth. Clemson, the first game of the year for Duke, Clemson threw the ball 43 times and just couldn't get it together, man. But they also they gave up 213 rushing yards to Clemson as well. Clemson just couldn't execute and put the ball in the end zone. I think against Notre Dame against Duke, that Estime kid is quite a bit better than Will Shipley, in my opinion. Like he's a big, strong bruiser kid. He might run for like 150 in this game. So
he looks good on some plays against Ohio State for sure. So I think I'm going to take Notre Dame in this one, and I think they bounce back. But if they don't, you know the reason.
I'm worried about and I haven't heard it in the press yet. I'm not going to bet this until probably Thursday or Friday. I'm going to see how the media handles it. You know what I mean? Because that kind of that shit that happened last week is the kind of thing that can fracture a clubhouse.
No.
It's like we could have, 1, been undefeated, 2, had a win against a top 10 team on our resume for the rest of the year, and then we can play these games out, but having another ranked one right here, so 3 on the season, we're definitely in the playoff at that point. And Notre Dame lost what is essentially a guarantee to be in the playoff last week. Now, they can still make it, but that fucks with you, man.
It does. They definitely got to win this week. The other thing is Duke has seen this kid before. They've seen Hartman for 3 years.
Yeah,
they played in the ACC. But I'm still going to ride with Notre Dame, and I think they come out of it by a touchdown. I think they're the better team. It just depends on what kind of funk they're in from last week. After that, because if you're the kids, you could always look at the coaching staff and be like, well, they're the assholes who put 10 men on the field for the last 2 plays of the game. Like, that loss wasn't on us. Fuck our head coach. But then also, do you trust that guy leading you? We'll see this week. If they get beat bad this week at Duke, that's the fucking the spiral there. And I don't know if Freeman stays for beyond another year at that point. Next up, you got South Carolina at Tennessee. Fun game. They're going to sling it around. Rattler and the other kid are going to sling it around here. The over-under 63.5.
Yeah, that's good.
Tennessee minus 12.5, though. Not real sure about that.
No, I probably won't bet this, but it will be. If you're an SEC fan, this is a fun game to watch.
Oh, fuck yeah. I like this is a night game. I'll flip around to this, and I'll throw some money on this for sure.
I'll do something at game time probably.
I'm doing dogs this week, brother. I'm going to take South Carolina.
If it was
12.5 points.
If it was in Columbia, I probably would do that, and it would probably be more like 10 or 9.5 or something if that was the case. But I'd probably take that. But Tennessee plays really well at home, and they need.
They got
this.
a fucking rad stadium for a night game too. They'll be going nuts. I think
they really badly need this win.
They do. I just don't know if they cover is all. So I think they win by a touchdown. But I'm still going to ride with the points on this one and take South Carolina. Next up, we got Alabama at Mississippi State. This is Alabama minus 14.5 at Mississippi State. Who you got?
Nah.
I know. It's a tough one, right? If this was 13.5, then you got me. But the fact that you went on the other side of the 14 there, shit. Just because Alabama hasn't looked that great this year, I know Mississippi State fucking sucks. But this is one you stick in a teaser and try to drop it down if you can. But that 14.5 bothers the shit out of me. Buying a full point, by the way, going back to some of the gambling tips at the top of the show, is expensive. That will take it out of you. Half a point, it'll take a little bit out of you, but a full point will take it out of your kitty, dude, for sure.
Alabama's got a pretty good defense, quite a bit better than LSU, and Mississippi State scored 2 touchdowns against LSU, I think. I mean, it's 46.5 over, so it's going to be. Mississippi State will probably score 10 points in this game.
This feels like a 28-10 game, which
be,
would theoretically cover, but that's really fucking close.
Yeah.
This will be in a teaser, just not on a straight up bet here. The games this week aren't great, by the way. Look for the NFL show. Gambling wise, this is a trap week, is what we call this in the biz here. Next up, you got Washington at Arizona here. Washington minus 18. I'm going to read off Penix's numbers here. 1,636 yards passing and 16 touchdowns. Fucking A, dude. Fucking A. He's going for the Heisman. This shouldn't stop him at all. He's probably got 4 or 5 touchdowns in this game, I would imagine.
Yep.
I think it's good for the university. I think people underestimate how great a Heisman Trophy is for your university. And if you have a player who is probably leading it right now, fucking go all in and try to get it to him, dude. Try to feed this fucking kid and let him go for another 5 touchdowns here.
Yeah. I mean, so Arizona's they play Washington next week at USC, then at the Cougars, then Oregon State at home. They got 4 ranked teams in a row here. And I wonder, like, you'll catch a team from time to time looking ahead. You'll catch teams hungover from a emotional game or whatever. I wonder how this brutal fucking next month is affecting these guys, to be honest. Not that Arizona's all that great to begin with, but you've got you don't want to get embarrassed, and you got the 2 best quarterbacks in the nation coming at you 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, let's look at Washington's upcoming schedule here. So after this, they got Oregon 2 weeks after. So they got to buy. At least they got to buy to prepare for Oregon, and then USC. Utah, Oregon State, Washington State. It's a fucking gauntlet down there for Washington.
For the entire Pac-12.
I know.
It's a gauntlet, so.
So you got good offenses there. It'll just, whoever the best defense will come through in that conference, I think. But yeah, 18, sure. Why not? I'll take Washington, we'll see.
Nah.
And then the last one is Nevada versus Fresno State.
It's weird that there's a line on this.
It is. It's minus 24.
I know it's a Mountain West matchup, but Fresno State's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough that I'm going to fucking give Fresno State 24.5 points. So.
Why not? They covered that against fucking Arizona, a P5 team, and Nevada's worse.
Yeah. I don't trust shit like this. Not at all. This is a dog shit week here. A lot of dogs to bet on. But look, this feels like a trap this entire week here. A lot of good teams are on buys this week. There's better things to bet on than the NFL, in my opinion. So wait for some of those games. There's a handful of good games here to bet on, but the rest of this shit, good luck, man. It's bleak out there in these streets this week. And they put those motherfuckers on at 10 a.m., dude. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's...
God.
I mean, I guess it's going to be... The ratings will be great for that game.
For Fox.
Yeah.
But they don't care about the kids.
Yeah. It's like, I do think you need to put... If you're a head coach, you need to put your guys in a position to win, right? Prepare people to win. Put them in a good spot. Prepare them or set them up for success. But the TV guys got to think the same way, right? Like, yeah, this Colorado situation has been really good for ratings, but if we strangle them out or put them in a bad situation where they come out and score 7 points again or something, not that that's going to happen against USC, right? That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But let's say it does. They're all tired and shit. And
Yeah.
come out and play all fucked up. That doesn't do anything for you or the brand.
Nope. Sure doesn't.
For 1 week of ratings, that doesn't make sense to me.
I agree.
Like this is your prize fucking pony. This is your fucking thoroughbred. You put them in the fucking prime slot.
Yeesh. That's early for those kids out there, dude. Have fun. Anyways, look, there's nothing you can do about weeks like this. It happens in college football. Last weekend was fucking bangers across the board. This week, duds. It's going to happen. But the NFL will save you. And we'll be back hosting the NFL Pick'em show tomorrow. We're going to load up on that one. This one, meh. Do what you want at home. Protect your cash if you don't believe in it, or bet against us. Who fucking cares? Either way, it's up to you. Unless your last name's Patterson, then I'm not your fucking dad, all right? Bet with us or against us on MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros. Double that deposit. Kick it up to 110% bonus. Let's go. Shout out to MyBookie for doing that. Highest in the history of their company over there.
That's how you do it. They're setting people up for success, man.
Trying to. Those fucking parlays and
That's how you
teasers,
do
man.
it.
Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Those are fun as shit. I mean, they're not Anton won $1,400 last night, but whatever, man.
Brooks Robinson just died.
Did he really?
R.I.P. Best defensive third baseman in the history of baseball.
Of all time, you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
No
By a
shit.
wide margin. He's the Ozzie Smith of third base.
How old was he?
Probably 1,000 years old. Who fucking knows?
86,
I was gonna say, it was one of those people I was unaware that was still alive. Full disclosure.
He's one of the best just pure baseball players of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's sad news there for
Yep.
Orioles fans. Maybe
Well, they
they'll
can use it,
dedicate
yeah.
the season to
Use
him.
it. Put a fucking little black number on the side of your jersey and then start tearing people's fucking assholes out of their body.
I know.
Look, Hank Aaron died so we could win one in 21.
Did he die in 21?
Yeah, and you almost did. So who's a fucking...
I should have. Was I on the jersey and I didn't know?
Who's Baltimore's
Did they
announcer?
put my initials on the jerseys and I didn't know?
Baltimore's announcer is Gary Thorne, right? So we just got to put him in a coma.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I love Gary Thorne, by the way.
Yeah. We don't
He's one of
we
my
don't wish
favorites.
ill of you, Gary.
Oh no,
Thorne.
I love him. He's
It's-
fucking.
we want the well. I don't
For
know
hockey,
what
he's my favorite announcer.
Okay.
Not for baseball necessarily, but for hockey for sure, he's my favorite announcer.
Okay. Head on over to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify, and then we will see you tomorrow for the NFL Pick'em Show, kids. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Week 5 College Football Pick'em.